Homework with the kids is done, household chores are done, and there's a hot meal on the table. Yet you still feel like something is off, like you're doing all the things that makes you a good wife, right? Or at least that's what we're taught. Well, in this episode, we are going to talk about why no matter what you do, it still feels like it's never enough and how to break free from that. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Shaquela, marriage. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Shaquela, marriage first business strategist and human flourishing coach on a mission to help wives in business live, lead, and build from God's order. This is a Christ centered environment. Women who love God, women who honor their marriage and are on their entrepreneurial journey, but yet they still feel stretched thin between marriage and business. Here, we are intentional about slowing down, realigning our priorities, and making sure that we build a successful business that does not cost us our marriage. And we do that by building business God's way. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. I am so glad that you are still here with us on this journey, and let's get into it. So, here's the thing doing all the things that we're supposed to do, right, as a wife and as a mother, that's great if we're doing them for the right reason. But most of the time, when we are making sure that all the homework is done, when we're checking off our list of all the chores, we're making sure that, food's on the table, and we are literally just going through this checklist, we're doing things to just get them done. We are doing things going through the motions. We are doing things to keep ourselves busy, and busy does not necessarily equal a good wife. Now, I know for some that might be like, ouch. And I get it. Like, the world has literally programmed us to believe that a woman has to make sure that her house is spotless, that her husband has a hot meal every day, that when she comes home from the office, she's going to make sure that the kids have their homework done, that they are, getting their shower and getting tucked into bed, and all those things each and every day after she has, been in the office or whatever it is that she does for work or business. She's going to come home and do all the things. And so we've gotten used to this idea that we have to make sure that we're keeping ourselves busy so that we can feel like we're doing something, so that we can feel like we are worth something, and that is not what God intended for us. Just look at the story of Mary and Martha in Luke 10, right? So, in this particular situation, Jesus is at the house, and Martha is just very preoccupied with cleaning and fixing and doing this and doing that. And she kind of gets irritated because Mary is sitting down there with Jesus. And Martha is like, aren't you going to say something? Aren't you going to tell her to help me? Like, there's so many things that need to be done. And she ain't doing nothing. Like, she's just sitting there. And Jesus, has to remind Martha that actually Mary is doing exactly what she needs to do. And the important piece of that was that Mary realized that this was not a time to be busy. This was not a time to be trying to make sure I get all the things done. This was a time to be available, to be in the presence, to be sitting in in Jesus's company. And Martha did not in that moment realize that that was the thing that she needed to do. She was so consumed with making sure that she was getting stuff done that she didn't realize that in that moment, the thing that needed to be done was for her to just be in the presence of Jesus, to sit at his feet, to hear what he had to say. And a lot of times, I believe that we as wives, we get so, especially wives in business, we get so used to, setting goals, having a to-do list, and we get in this mindset of making sure that we're doing everything, right? And so even when we come home, we don't know how to turn that off. We don't know how to just be present at home in our marriage. We don't know how to make ourselves emotionally available to our husband because we're too busy doing task oriented things, thinking that that is love, that that's what he needs, that's what he wants, and that's what he sees and identifies as saying, "Yep, I got a good wife, got a hot meal on the table, house clean, kids are fed." Like that's a good wife right there. When in actuality, when did she take time to just sit on the couch with her husband? When did she take time to say, "Baby, how was your day? Like, what can I do for you?" Like, just being there for him. Because I'm going to tell you, men need someone that they can talk to, that they can release some of their stress to. They may not necessarily jump up and down and ask for it, but I encourage you as a wife, especially as a wife in business, to start taking the time to be intentional about being emotionally available for your husband when you are home. It's great to make sure that the house is clean. It is great to make sure that he has a hot meal. But we also have to be intentional about making sure that we focus on him, how he's feeling, how his day was, and we are making sure that we are there for him emotionally, not just in the physical aspects, but emotionally. Because men go through a lot. Men have their own stress and they may not necessarily communicate it the same way. But as a wife, we have to make sure that we are honoring our covenant that we have with our husband. We have to make sure that we are protecting that covenant. And one of the ways that we can do that is take off the work hat, take off the overachiever, take off the checklist girl hat, take it off, and put on the hat of being a wife, being sensitive, being soft, and just being a listening ear for your husband. And I want to encourage you, if you are a wife in business, if you find that challenging, or if you are just like, man, like business is great, but marriage not so much, you don't really know how to identify where the breakdown is happening, I encourage you to jump on a call with me. Like, I've been there. This is something that I really and truly had to work through. This is something that God really and truly had to walk with me with. And the exact way that he brought me out and helped me to now have a thriving business that supports my marriage, that honors my covenant that I have with my husband and with God. Like, I am just so thrilled and excited to be able to help women come out of that same struggle that I once was in. And so I encourage you, if you are a wife in business, if you want to be able to build business success and still honor your marriage, still honor your covenant with God, you want to be able to make sure that you are in alignment with the way that God is calling you to build this business so that it is successful and sustainable, all while still having time and intimacy in your marriage. I encourage you, hop on a call with me and let's talk about it. Let's figure out a way to get you to be the godly woman that God has called you to be as a wife and business owner. Because guess what? God created you to be a wife and an entrepreneur. He predestined you for that success. Because in doing those two things, God is going to honor that and pour out such a blessing on your business and on your marriage because that's the way that He wanted things to be for His daughters. He wanted us to be great wives and great entrepreneurs, just as His word says in Proverbs 31. So I encourage you, book a call with me. Right now, I am offering a special program to where you get to work one on one with me, and we are going to take a deep dive into what it is that you feel you are struggling with the most and where you would like to, get more in alignment with God and make sure that your business is built according to God's order so that it is successful and sustainable, all while enjoying your marriage. Hop on a call with me. I am offering one on one sessions that probably won't be offered in the manner that I'm doing them right now. I probably won't be offering them like this again, and I definitely won't be offering them at the rate that I will offer them because, again, I know this struggle very well. I've been there, and I want you to know that it doesn't have to stay that way and that you can be a successful wifepreneur that has a thriving business that supports her marriage. I can't wait to hop on a call with you and start that journey. So until next time.